Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. I haven't made a video in so long. We are pet sitting my daughter's friend's gecko, and so the tank is resting on my desk. So I haven't had use of my desk all week and I feel really out of place. I can't seem to get my head together because I don't have my workspace available. But I did want to do a video today, so I kind of adjusted things and I'm just sitting here on the couch. But I wanted to address a question that a lot of people have asked me. People have asked me so many times now, how do I teach my own kids to question the narrative? And I just want to give you one example how we're doing that today. One of the greatest advantages of being a homeschooling parent is that you can teach your children to think critically and that they don't have to just accept the pat answers that were often given in history class or in history textbooks by the government, just by the mainstream in general. Because what we're seeing in this day and age is that we're not told the truth about a lot of things. And it's important that our kids are able to, if not find out what the absolute truth is, at least know how to filter out untruths or to see things through their own eyes so that they can decide for themselves if they think that what they're being told is valid or not. And you know, I don't have the perfect answer for how to teach your kids to question the narrative. I haven't really incorporated it much into my homeschool per se, as in I haven't made it like into a curriculum for my kids, or I haven't made it into really structured lessons for my kids. I've tried to mostly teach my kids by example. They see me questioning the narrative all the time. They see the videos that I watch, they see the books that I read while we are out taking our walks and seeing things that I wonder about. I discuss these things with my kids. So it's not something that I have ever kept a secret from my children. They know that I'm looking into certain things. They know that I don't trust everything that we're told. And they know that I am curious and that even though I might not ever find out the truth, that I'm okay with that. I at least want to be able to think independently and try to at least decipher it. So lately though, I have been approaching it a little bit more directly in our homeschool. Now, it's not really structured lessons that we're doing, but I'm going to share with you how we're doing that. So we're doing an almost unschooling approach to our homeschool for the first 6 weeks, just because it's still summertime now. And I actually started reading the book, The White Mountains in the Tripod series by John Christopher. And I have 3 books. It's a trilogy. And I believe that he wrote a prequel also, but I haven't actually ever read the prequel. But we're on the first book of the series, The White Mountains, right now. And the reason that I chose to read this to my kids for our read aloud this year is because I have already read The White Mountains, and it really is reminiscent of a lot of the things that we're seeing today. No, we don't have big tripods going around and capping people nowadays, but to me, it symbolizes a lot of the things, the mind control that is going on in the world around us right now. In addition to that, the way that it describes the cities that are in ruins, how there was a more advanced civilization in their past. For example, the people who are living during that time, they see a sign on a tower and it says Lect City. And so they think that was the name of an old city, but it turns out that that was actually the word electricity, but they don't even know what electricity is. And so I'm always alluding to the fact on my Question the Narrative series that I do believe that there was a more advanced civilization here before us and that it was covered up. And I think that the Tripod series really does kind of bring that to life for the kids. Now, obviously, this is a science fiction book. This wasn't written to be nonfiction, but I do see a lot of possibilities in it, and it is a great way to point out to my kids, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about resets or when I talk about older civilizations that we're not told about. Now, another way that I've been incorporating this is I'm kind of been linking it together is I go for walks with my kids all the time. We live in a very mountainous area, so we have a lot of trails that we can walk on. We have a canal by our house that we like to walk next to. And as we are out taking these walks, we are always encountering very questionable things. And I've done a few videos on them. Something is itching my nose and I don't know what it is. Anyway, and so we're always seeing what looks to be ruins in the area around our house. Now, some of them we have gotten the answers to and found out what they are. Other ruins that we see, we actually have no idea what they used to be, and we don't even know if anyone knows what they are. So as I am out with my kids, I am talking about these things with them. You know, hey, do you see that old wall up there? Do you see these bricks that are peeking out of this hillside? Do you see this old foundation? Or sometimes I will say, do you see that building over there that looks like it's sunken into the ground? And so my kids, they're all very familiar with this now because I have been discussing this with them. So when we are reading the tripods, they actually already have that picture in their mind from what we have seen while we're out on the streets looking at things. And I think that has really helped them to kind of process the information that I've been giving to them. And another thing that we've been doing is, we just started doing this, I got history timeline notebooks. And so what we do is whenever we find a year of that something supposedly happened, we will write it in this history timeline notebook. And I told my kids to think of this as a they say history timeline, because, you know, to be quite honest, we don't know if what they're telling us is the truth. We just know what they do tell us, and so we're just going to write that in this book so that we at least have the reference for the time being. So for right here on the year 2500 BC, it says pyramids built, because that's what we saw in a video today. But my kids all know that this is speculative. These aren't things that we have concrete answers for. But I think that it's important that they do have these dates as a reference for, you know, to go back to later. And the last thing that I've been doing with my kids for this particular topic, for this particular time, is that I have been having them watch the Ewarrenon video. They've only watched part 1 so far. I think there's 7 of them. And I'm going to pre-watch them before my kids watch them, because so far I've watched about 3/4 of the whole series, and it all seems appropriate for my kids, but I'm going to, just in case I've forgotten something, kind of pre-watch it. But that is a very informative series, and I think that it's really going to engage them, and that is also going to tie together everything that we've been reading about in the White Mountains and going out on our walks, our history timeline. A lot of our information for our timeline we actually got from the Ewarrenon series, and I will link that video in the description box. But really, I just wanted to say to you that there is no right or wrong way to teach your children to question things, only so that they do learn to question things. I don't know of a specific homeschooling curriculum that was made for this purpose. If there was, I would love to know about it. But to be honest with you, I think that each family needs to tailor it so that their family can engage this topic in their own way. And I just think that it's important that when you are looking into things, that you do include your children when you're learning things. Obviously, age-appropriate things. But the most important thing really is for you just to be an example for your kids. If your kids see you doing it, they will most likely follow suit because they look up to you. That's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one either here or over on my Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.